So you've been away from the narcissist for some time. You've slowly been working through the trauma bond, the addiction that you felt towards them, which is really difficult. It's probably one of the most difficult things you'll experience is staying no contact when you feel like you need their presence to even breathe. But let's say you're going through the process. You're starting to see cracks of hope, light at the end of the tunnel. You're starting to feel a little bit good about yourself. You're starting not to think about them 24/7, but maybe just a few times over the course of the day. And you finally think, okay, I got this. I can manage without this person. I'm starting to accept they were not good for me and that I really don't want them in my life. But then they reach out to you. They send you a nice short message just saying, "Hey, how's it going? I was thinking about you and just wanted to see how things were. Hope all is well." A very nice short message reaching out, and then you're left thinking, shit. Because when you haven't been in touch with them for a while, you haven't forgotten them, but you haven't been in touch with them. And maybe you're not thinking about them 24/7, but they still are in your mind quite a bit. And you're starting to, you've been focusing on other things in your life, but all of a sudden when they reach out to you, it's like you feel their full presence again. You start getting so many flashbacks of your time with them again, more intensely. And in a way, you feel that all of a sudden you're at risk of being almost at ground zero because you start feeling them so intensely. And then you think, okay, should I respond to them or not? And if I do respond, how should I respond? So most people, when they break up with a narcissist, most people, I'd say, probably go back to the narcissist maybe 5 to 10 times before they realize, actually, this isn't healthy. I'm breaking this up for good. Or at least the first time around, especially when they were not familiar with narcissism and narcissists and NPD and all that. But so it's not unusual for people to entertain the Hoover and go back responding to them. But let's say you understand the disorder, you know about them, and all of a sudden you receive this text and you think, what should I do? You feel completely torn because in a way you feel like you still crave them. You still kind of feel like they'll give you a breath of fresh air that you can't get without them. But you also at some level know that your healing journey will be disrupted tremendously if you do go back. And so you're torn about what to do. So obviously the narcissist wants and expects you to respond to them. What they would really want is if they kind of give you a really light touch message, what they would really like is for you to respond to them with a more substantial message. So if they say, "Hi, how are you? Just wondering how things were going, hope all's well." What they really hope is that you respond with something along the lines of, "Oh, hey, yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. I've really missed you, blah, blah, blah." They kind of want you to take it up a notch to show that you were craving them, that you were looking forward to their message, and that you have now felt relief from receiving their message. And if you do that, you would have extremely validated them because you've proven to them that you have been anxiously awaiting for them, waiting for them to reach out to you, that they've been living in your mind. And when you have that kind of response, you give them an extreme level of validation. And sometimes if you have that kind of response, all of a sudden they'll know that, okay, this person is really into me, has really been missing me, has really, this and that. And all of a sudden now they're probably expecting a response from me again because they were just so keen and everything. If you have that kind of response, a lot of time narcissists won't even respond to you again because you would have validated them so hugely. You would have proven their kind of their superiority so greatly. They feel so great knowing that the effect they've had on you that they don't need any more validation. Sometimes they won't even respond. And all of a sudden you might spend days, weeks wondering, oh, what now? What now? And all of a sudden you find yourself devastated again because you start to relive your experience being with them and you've given away the evidence that you're thinking about them intensely and that you want them back through your response. And then they just go quiet, silence. And then that'll just break you down, tear you up. And of course, the healing journey that you were on before just becomes hugely disrupted. You have to start from ground zero. But let's say you respond differently. Let's say you just say, "Oh, hey, I'm good, thanks. Hope you are too. Bye." And you kind of keep it really short and concise. If you do that, the narcissist will think, "Okay, I see, this person maybe wants to play ball, but there's still some work to be done here." So the narcissist might navigate the conversation, think of a crafty response maybe the next day or something to kind of ease their way back in which case they'll try to work the way back into your life. And all of a sudden, you in a way, you're kind of dancing with them again. And what's the point? What's the point of doing that? If you're not going to go back to them, which you shouldn't, why even entertain them? Because they're just going to mess about with you until they can see that you miss them, you want them, you're eager to go back. And then they felt hugely validated. And if you do that, then one of two things will happen. They'll either just ghost you right then and there, or they might meet up with you once or twice, maybe for sex, for if you have money, maybe they'll splurge a bit on your account, or get you to do something for them, and then they'll ghost you after that. They'll give you a nice little discard, or they just won't respond at all because you validated them. The best you can do is just not respond. Just don't show interest. And if you don't show interest, they might try a bit harder because there's two things they want. A is they want to see if you're interested in them at all, and B, they want to see if you're willing to take them back. They're after validation, they're after whatever supply you could give them, but once they've had that boost of validation, that boost of supply, or whatever you have on offer, they'll go through the cycle of devaluing you and discarding you, probably within a matter of days or weeks, maybe hours. And then they're off to the next. It's not a healthy dance to play. It's just not something you want to get into. So when you do receive the Hoover, just ignore it. I know it's really intense. It's almost like you can feel them thinking about you, feel them wanting to hear from you. It's almost like you're psychically connected and you're thinking, "Oh, this is really intense. I just don't know. Even if I don't respond to them, I feel like they're still in my head." Well, maybe they are, but that will wither away. If you've never done that before, if you've never responded to a Hoover and then suffered the negative consequences of it, then sometimes people need to go through that negative cycle to learn from it. But if you've been with a narcissist, you've probably done that a few times and realized it doesn't work. So it's just like thinking now and going forward. It's just like, no, nothing good can come out of entertaining the Hoover. It's not worth it. You're not going to gain anything. You're going to lose a lot. If you were 3 months into your recovery and you entertain the Hoover, you're going to go right back to square one, and you're going to have lost 3 months of recovering and working yourself into a healthier place. So it's just don't entertain them. Don't entertain the Hoover. Keep on your healing journey. Keep them at a distance. And every time you have these intrusive thoughts of them, these feelings about them, use all that as fuel to kind of keep them out and just realize, yeah, I can feel them. I feel their energy a little bit still, but I'm going to keep that energy out in my physical presence. I'm not going to entertain them, talk to them, and I'm just going to keep working on myself. And eventually all of that will subside, and it'll be replaced with more healthy things, more healthy people, more healthy activities in your life, things that are actually worth your while.